Hi, Rachel. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our live streaming from Oregon Weight and Wellness and Rachel Matthews at Whole Life Health.
Yes.
Yay. Yeah, gorgeous. This weather is spectacular. Oh my goodness. Rachel, I've been doing so much nature bathing. I'm so excited to share with you. I found a used golf cart. I've been looking and looking and looking and looking and looking. Actually, one of our clients kind of steered me in the right direction. No pun intended. I found a used golf cart. And the reason I'm so excited about this is because I am sharing my husband's, 15-year park in the making, So he said, so people ask if we own the blueberry field across the way. No, but we do own the bramble bushes, the blackberry bramble.
Yay.
on this side of the slough. But yeah, so what was just a bank of blackberry bramble is now just beautiful tropical plants like banana trees and palm trees and tropicana, these beautiful flowers. And we've got huge dinner plate hibiscus and lots of different colors and lots of echinacea and daylilies and then my own little garden, which is struggling, to be fair, but it's there. And we've got sunflowers and tall ones that are stretching up through plum trees and saying hello to the sun. And so it's this beautiful little oasis over there. And I have been longing to share it with friends and family and clients. And so I've got my little golf cart, and I was afraid to walk people across the street because my street's pretty busy.
Yeah.
Pretty busy. And then there's downhill and gravel, and I don't want anyone to slip and fall, So, but now I have my little golf cart, and we can go across the road and kind of do our little nature bathing and just taking it all in and really enjoying the fruits of my husband's labor. So
I'm so excited that you're getting to use it now, and that we've talked about nature on this show before, and it's a big piece of the puzzle that's missing for many people.
Right. And it's one of the pillars of our lifestyle, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was thinking about that lifestyle pillars, and it's, this, health up here and the pillars that uphold health. Yeah. But they're not siloed pillars. They're more like intricately woven, together, because you can't separate, right?
Yeah.
You cannot separate sleep from exercise, because actually moving during your day helps with your sleep pressure. And you can't separate what you eat from how you sleep. I mean, they're all interwoven So I know we think of them and talk of them separately, but they just go together.
They really do. And it's almost like, crossbars of a building, rather, because that supports and that makes them stronger. And I like what's beautiful about that I hope that people can hear then is that when you're working on one pillar, it's motivating and inspiring to work on another. And sometimes you work on one and it helps the other. And that wasn't your intention.
Right.
And suddenly this is better. And then, now this is better. And so it's not like each pillar has to be worked on so hard, because they help each other out.
Right.
You got to just start with one of them, and then they tend to help each other out.
Exactly. Yeah. And I love our discussion about lifestyle and diet and the difference between, I don't know, maybe we talked about this earlier, but you know what that word diet has in it? D-I-E. Right?
It kind of feels like that when you're dieting, doesn't it?
Yeah. Versus lifestyle is life-giving, and if it's not life-giving, I got to think hard, think twice, do I want to keep doing it? Yeah. Right. It's not life-giving. Yeah. And I'm not saying that there's not time for discipline or not time for reality check or not time for, but that's all part of lifestyle, right?
It absolutely is. And in fact, you sent me the best little clip of Venus Williams this past week. And she said, discipline is freedom. You know, we think about the word discipline. Was it you or was it my husband who sent that to me?
I think I sent it.
I think you did.
Yeah.
It was so good. And it's so simple. And, you know, and of course, Venus Williams is this amazing tennis star, like a phenom. And she talks about when people hear the word discipline, they often think restriction and they think diet mentality, right? A discipline is a rule. It's gonna keep me from what I want. It's, you know, and really discipline is freedom. You know, it gives us the freedom to do the things we want to do. And oftentimes it doesn't take a whole lot of discipline to start to see the fruit and the freedom. And then you want more of that. You know, there's so many examples of this, and this is a little bit off topic, but anyway, I like that idea of these lifestyle pillars do involve some discipline, some restructuring of our lives, changing of behaviors, changing of patterns, getting away the old, bringing in the new. And that does take some work, but man, the payout is huge.
Yeah. And the discipline is a lot of times up front, you know, while we're developing these habits and figuring out, I like the word you use, structure, you know, to build in new habits so that then they become automatic. I'm never going to say that it's easy. I don't think it's ever, and that's okay. It's just okay. It's just the way it is. Life is hard. Life is hard. Rachel, can we agree?
Yes. And oh, my kid, my 21-year-old son came to me the other day and I was saying something was hard. He goes, Mom, this is hard, but you know what else is hard? And he was talking about, you know, being unhealthy or not doing, you know, he's like, which one do you pick? And I was like, oh, the wisdom of this 21-year-old. Who does he think he is? You know? But it's but he's the message that life is hard. Health is hard. Being unhealthy is also hard. Dying early is hard. Being, you know, not living to the quality of life that you could have, that's really hard. So you got to pick one. And if you don't pick one, life will pick it for you.
Oh, that is so true. Yeah, that is so true. So we've been talking the last few times, Rachel, about limitations. And I think it's such a good topic and maybe a way to shift our thinking, you know, a mindset shift, a paradigm shift about limitations. I wanted to talk a little bit more about that today in terms of this phrase that I heard. What was it? Can you remind me?
Pleasure plateau.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, the pleasure plateau. Yeah,
I'm glad we're continuing this conversation because it's interesting. I've been talking about limitations in my group Connect, which we meet at 12:30 right after us, and we've been kind of exploring that more. And it is a tricky word, and I think it hobbles folks a little bit because we tend to think of a limitation as something that's bad and it's restrictive. Again, it's like a discipline. It's restrictive. But really, limitations are oftentimes a gift. And we change our mindset of how we think about it. And this idea of a pleasure plateau, the way I understand it is specifically when we're talking about food, right? Something that tastes good only really tastes great or good for a couple of bites. And then it loses some luster. Is that true? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. And as a matter of fact, I think, you know, several times ago you mentioned the phrase and the thought that we've heard before is that the bounty is in the first bite. Right? The bounty, meaning the best taste is in the first few bites, I'm going to say. And I think, you know, and we're hardwired like that. Our brain is hardwired like that. It's hardwired for those limitations like that. And so that, number one, that we can really enjoy the food that we're eating. You know, not everything has to be Michelin star, gourmet, you know, burst in your mouth flavor all the time. You know, right? Not everything, right? Um, and I'm going to use an and here, and we can enjoy our food. I mean, we're allowed to enjoy our food.
Yeah.
If we really slow down and think about it, and not get ahead of sometimes we get ahead of ourselves, and especially if we're in a diet mentality, we're like, okay, here's my cheat, and we're so busy gobbling down this cheat, that we're not even enjoying it. Yeah.
No.
And we're not giving space, time, connection, brain, brain gut connection to know when it doesn't really do anything for me or taste as good anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're now allowing our built-in limitations of pleasure to give us the feedback that we need to enjoy it and then stop.
Yeah. Yeah. And if it's not enjoyable, the argument would be, the logic would be that we wouldn't keep eating it. Right. And most things lose their flavor and their pow pretty quick. And it's kind of, but if we're not paying attention, we'll just keep shoveling in. We'll just keep eating, whatever it is, without hearing that message, especially when we're talking about treats and things that are exceptions to our normal. You mentioned, like, not everything has to be the big pow and the big, like, this is amazing. And yet I think many of us live expecting that and looking for it. Like, I have to be happy every day. If I'm not happy, what's wrong? This has to be big, and wow, we're seeking for all the big, when most of life is kind of lived in the day-to-day mundane. It's lived at a kind of a, I'm not good, I'm not bad, you're cruising, right? We have moments of joy, moments of happiness, but we don't live in happy. If we lived in happy, it wouldn't be happy anymore. Right? We blitz out on happy. Too much happy gets real old, right? It's a plateau, because we need to come down off of that so that we can appreciate the next time, like a vacation.
Right.
I've been on a vacation that lasted too long. You'd think it's impossible for vacation to last too long, but it does. The body gets slothful. It gets boring. You kind of are ready for the structure of normal life.
Right. Yeah. Good point. Yeah. So we have these limitations, these pleasure plateaus that are built in, hardwired. And if we respect them, then we're going to be, as a lifestyle, we're going to be a lot farther along on our health journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. If we respect them. So it's a message that the body is giving us. And I know when I've gone through periods of like eating less sugar, right? Kind of weaning myself off of sugar. The next time I have sugar, it's like that pow, right? My taste buds have been kind of weaned off of it, and I can taste any little bit of sugar. I become hypersensitive to there's sugar in this dressing, or there's sugar in this sauce, or whatever.
Right.
Or it's the same thing with salt, and even with fat. Things are overly greasy. I become it's overwhelming. I know we've all experienced that, right? And so, but if I honor that, like, oh, that's enough. I've gotten a little pow of it. Then I'm able to experience and appreciate it the next time. But if I push through that limitation, for the natural messages, I become kind of immune to it, numbed out.
Yeah, because you're right. Because we also have the ability to override. If we push past that plateau, then eventually our body was like, all right, and we override that. And so then we equilibrate or change our set point, kind of a thing. And we do grow numb or muted to the feedback signaling in our system.
I mean, really, you can apply this concept to almost anything in life. Too much, we get numbed out by it, and then you need more. You need the bigger, the better thing, right? You buy a TV, and then a new, bigger TV comes along, and you need the bigger, better one, because this one's no know, and what you enjoy in your world, or what excites you. We're constantly looking for more if we just keep pushing that boundary.
Yeah.
And so there is sort of a limitation that the body and the brain and our lifestyle is asking of us to be disciplined, allow the limitation to hold us in a little bit, to not push through, to become numbed out and kind of, I mean, I guess the best example is with people who drink a lot or do drugs, right? We know that, you know, it's like that's why they call it like the gateway drugs. You start with one drug and then it's no longer a good hit anymore. And you need a higher dose, or you need more alcohol to feel buzzed, or, you know. So we have to discipline ourselves if we want the joy and the pleasure out of something. We have to discipline to stay within the limitations, to honor the limitations, like you said. I love the word, to honor.
Yeah, honoring that. That's so good. Yeah, I can. Another place that we kind of push past that plateau is that limitation that of usefulness is with phones, and you know, and screens. Yeah. So my name's Julie. Yeah. I watch too many YouTube videos.
Right. And gosh, that's a system that's working against us on purpose, right? It's sucking in. That we just want more, and the brain's looking for that next exciting video. What's this one about?
Yeah. Right. Our brain is fantastic, phenomenal, able to do lots of awesome things and think, you know, creatively and beautifully, and too much information is more than enough. Yeah. We're on overload and burnout.
Totally.
Yeah, there isn't there, and we have to really pay attention to that. So having some downtime from screens and things like that. Yeah, accepting that limitation, honoring that, maybe even having a free day from your phone.
Yeah, because it's honoring the fact that my body has a built-in limitation for how much entertainment or news or media or negative information I can take in. We all know that feeling. We start to feel bummed out, like we don't feel happier or better or joyful after an hour-long, you know, rabbit trail on YouTube or TikTok or whatever it is. And that's the limitation of the body saying enough, you know. And so we camped last weekend, and I went for like almost 2 straight days. You have no service out there, and I went 2 straight days without my phone. Like, it doesn't work, so I never picked it up once. It's like, why would I pick it up? It doesn't work.
And you're alive. And you're alive to tell the story.
I know, it's amazing, and so much better off for it. Like, just I realized how present I was in conversation with nature, with, you know. Feels good.
That's great. That's great. All right. Well, this is good. And I really like the idea of kind of changing your mind about limitations, that limitations are good things, that those boundaries, you know, we have natural boundaries in our body, in our mind, in our gut. If we listen to them, they fall in good places. And they fall in good places, and they can really help us on our lifestyle journey. Rachel, I wanted to ask you, how's your garden growing?
She's not happy. I'm hoping that the hot weather we're looking for, like the 90s this next week, will actually ripen the 4,000 green tomatoes I have. I've gotten one reddish tomato. It's August 29th.
I know. I'm in the same boat, Rachel. I know. I'm not saying this just to say, but you're right. I've only picked one tomato off that plant. But oh man, I got oodles of zucchini. So I'm doing zucchini everything. Everything zucchini. Yeah. Good. Everything zucchini and onion. That's what I have. Zucchini and onion, and I do have some spaghetti squash. So just riffing on that with all kinds of basil and oregano and that sort of
the spices are all doing great. Yeah, the herb garden looks fine.
Yeah. So that's what we're eating tonight. along with some sort of protein that I'm not exactly sure about. Yeah. So
Yeah.
how about you? What's for dinner for you?
Yeah, for dinner for us tonight is leftovers from last night, and my husband made a high protein bonza chickpea pasta with it's our chunky veggie spaghetti pastas. So cool though. I went to Costco the other day, and I talked to a lot of different clients about these pre-bagged, roasted veggies. They're so quick. They're easy. It's a staple in my freezer for when I don't have much fresh produce from my garden to eat.
Yeah.
And they've changed it up a little bit. This is a new packaging or new version, and there was just giant chunks of these vegetables. I don't even know. I think it was giant chunks of carrots and broccoli. I mean, just huge, beautiful chunks of stuff. So it was this really giant, chunky, and there was so much chewing involved that it slowed me down. Right.
Yeah.
It was very, very gratifying, very satisfying. Anyway, so that's going to be some leftovers. Yeah.
Great. That reminds me, I do have kale over there I could throw in to my thing.
There you go. Yeah. I think tonight we're going to chop up a bunch of kale really, really tiny and kind of reheat the spaghetti sauce with that in there to kind of liven it up and kind of rejuvenate it, give it a new life.
Life. That's great.
Good idea.
Beautiful.
Thanks for that.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for the great conversation, and enjoy this gorgeous weather. I guess it's going to get a little hot, but anyway, it's just so beautiful.
It's perfect out there. This is what we're known for. This is how what's Oregon is known for, is this weather in the summertime. So, all right, everybody, have fun.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You.